a quick little synopsis about what's going on. Let's go to Psalms 2. And let me get some of your thinkings about what's going on. It's getting crazy here, in America. And, you got the statutes and folks going crazy about those statutes, man. I'm talking about crazy. In Charlottesville and all that type of crazy stuff that was going on. Go ahead, bro. The statues that they are snatching down, the Confederate.
They got one coming here, right?
Huh?
They got one coming here, right?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't know about
Thursday.
that. Really?
They're supposed to be taking one down.
Well, I thought Mayor. Okay.
Why they taking them down?
Okay. Well, let me start from the beginning. You been out. You must have been out under a rock.
I watch TV.
Oh, okay. I got you. Been online. Well, basically, all of a sudden, that they're going back and taking the Confederate statues of the Confederate soldiers or leaders, snatching those things down. Basically, what is being said, some of the things that's being said that it shouldn't be up. It's offensive to, America and our way they lost the war. So why should we have the Confederate statues up? All right. So now, when they started doing that, then you had the Southern or the KKK, the All Right, the Nazis, the Nationals. They start popping up out of nowhere saying, y'all ain't taking that down. That's our heritage. That's our everything. So it began to be crazy. And Charlottesville was one of the places they came. They had a big riot, bringing poles out, swinging on each other, and it just got crazy out there.
And one woman was
killed. One guy got into a car and just ran through the crowd and ran them over. One of the guys that was on the white nationalist side. Mm-hmm. So I want to get y'all thoughts on that, and then I'll go through what I got on it.
One of the things that that stands out to me, it's prophecy being fulfilled because they're beginning to turn against each other.
There you go.
They're going to be fighting. You got these white people fighting against white people.
Mm-hmm.
Around black and they're using us as a catalyst of black issues.
Mm-hmm.
Black Lives Matter or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But these statues is the thing that always blows me away is it's like the argument about the Confederate flag.
Mm-hmm.
What nation do you know of that goes to war with another nation and when they defeat them, they allow them to still fly their flag?
There you go.
And
in their country.
That's right. And so when these people talk about their heritage, your heritage is you lost.
Exactly.
But the whole thing, to me, it's just, hey, Abba is putting things in motion, and things are going to start happening, and we have to be prepared.
That's right.
For the things that are getting ready to go down.
Right.
I think it's going to become more and more important that we, as a nation of people, come together. Because the second Exodus is going to happen.
Oh yeah, soon to happen.
That's right.
Soon to happen. Anybody else want to get their thoughts? Go ahead, sis.
I think it's just setting the stage for martial law to get.
Exactly.
Once we get to beating on each other and the police no longer have control, they need somebody to call a shot quick, like how they do in China and like that. And there you have it. So throw a statue in there, get us all disorganized.
Yeah. That's exactly. That's the point I'm coming at too. Anybody else?
Yeah, they already said something about the atmosphere was too dangerous for police to be there or something like that. So, who after the police?
Exactly.
Rolling tanks down.
It could be there though if they wanted to.
Exactly.
Well, yeah.
Go ahead, sis.
But they are there. If you look at the Charlotte, they stood back because our police is the Ku Klux Klan.
Exactly. I ain't never seen that.
I
I have never seen at a riot. Now let that been a Black Lives Matter. Even though I'm not for the organization Black Lives Matter, I'm for the idea.
Right.
But anytime something begins to be funded by the Jewish people, then I know something ain't right about that.
Yeah.
Then they start pushing the LBGT over. And then the main thing, you go on the website, it's about every other group but Black people.
Right.
That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
But, when I see something get all over the nation so fast, especially a black group. Y'all know how hard that is?
Yeah.
You know how hard that is? And then it's funded like that. Then I start watching it. But anyway, like sister was saying, I have never seen, when I watched that and seen the police just standing there and letting them fight. And then when I seen those, and you know, you had, like you said, you had your Nazis, you had the KKK, you had your all white, all right nationalists, all of them was together, came together. You know how the police be in their uniforms, and all black uniforms with the helmet and the shields. They bull rushed it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they did.
And pushed it back. I was like, oh
Yeah.
my God, did you see this? And the police did nothing. They just going back and just letting them push. Now, you know, and it just show you the difference. Because they call the Black Lives Matter people terrorists and ain't never killed nobody.
Right. Right.
Who is the number one terrorist over here in America?
KKK.
History.
Oh, KKK.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The European.
Yeah. That's right.
But ain't nobody trying to build no wall to keep them out.
That's right.
So it just shows you the hypocrisy. The hypocrisy. Just like they say, they trying to keep the Hispanics and stuff out because Trump said, you know, they killing folks, they rape us, they all this. But when it comes to terrorists, everybody else terrorists but the main terrorist that has been here. Now, when I say, I'm not saying all white people, because your normal day person you work with, they ain't no terrorists. You know what I'm saying? But the elite that run nations has been terrorists ever since the inception of this nation. Mm-hmm. So it just showed me how one-sided they are. And then on one of the videos, I heard from another guy, you know, with Brother William Majors. He was talking about how one of the guys, it got so bad that they was fighting, they was hitting with clubs, they was hitting with poles. I mean, they were beating folks' head in. It got that bad. And it wasn't just white and black. This was like white against white, you know, different ones like that, the LBGT, whatever you call them. They was out there. Huh? No. They start trying to clear some out, but then, and one of the things that they said, the police said it got too rowdy for them and they left. So it's like, but all that is by design. I'm going to show you what I mean in a minute. And it's just like, this is insane. And one of the guys got on the phone and he said on the phone, they had where you had rioting going on, people fighting people. Then I guess some of the people that was leftist people, what they call them, that was not for the white nationalists, I guess they had some of the KKK members or something surrounded, so they couldn't get out or something. So I guess they just had them just standing there.
Oh yeah. And
one of the guys that was with the white nationalist group called the police and said, if you don't get our people out of there within 20 minutes, we got 200 and some people finna come over there and we all have assault rifles and guns. So you better get over there. And you know what? They went over there and got them out. Mm-hmm. You let one of us call during a Black Lives Matter rally and tell the police what they better do. And talking about we got assault rifles. Mm-hmm. They coming to bust our head. And then they ask questions later. So that's just crazy. But let's give, because it's important not to get so caught up in emotions to make sound decisions. Because everything right now is trying to provoke something out of us. And they need a provoking out of us. That's why they can show you. Let me let them see what we'll do at their rallies and let them see what we'll do and allow at their rallies to provoke something out of you. All right, so let's look at Psalms real quick. Psalms 2. And that'll let you know the time that we're living in somewhere. It says, why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointing. Watch what it said. The heathen is raging, and the people is imagining a vain thing. The kings or the elites or the rulers of the earth set themselves and take counsel against the Most High and against his anointed, and saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Most High shall have them in derision. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath and vex them in his sore displeasure. Yet have I set my king up on my holy hill of Zion. So that's letting you see that the heathen are raging, but the people are imagining a vain thing. How can we correlate that to now? What is the vain thing that all us is imagining? I say it like this, I'm going to lead you into the answer. That we're imagining the ones that don't know about prophecy.
They think that this marching and stuff that's going on is going to help.
That's one. They think by us marching that it's going to help and that everything is going to be turned around. Anybody else?
I'm thinking race war.
Race war. Okay. Yeah, that's according to what prophecy said, there's going to be the race war. But like you said, one of the main vain things that they're thinking that this nation is going to be together and everything going to turn around and we're going to live happily ever after.
Mm-hmm.
It is not going to happen. That's a vain thought to think like that, because the Most High always judged the nation that did damage to his people. Even though he used them as a whooping stick, he always came back and judged them. Think about every nation that we'd have been into subjection to. From Egypt, is Egypt still ruling?
Yeah.
Assyria, their empire, they still up? Babylon, Persia. I'm talking about that was ruling the earth. The Greeks, Rome. Now Rome is still ruling because America is part of Little Rome.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? But the Most High came and judged every nation. So it's a vain thing to think that everything is going to be all right. So now let me get to this point. Now, you got to look at the whole scheme of things. What they need to happen in order to bring in, like my sister was saying, martial law. Now, think about all the way back from Trayvon Martin situation. Think about how events started occurring after that. He was in some before, but I'm just using that as a standpoint. When Trayvon Martin happened, what was the vain thing that we thought was going to happen? Okay, he killed the young man. They're going to judge that person, that the judicial system, we can believe in it, and we're going to get justice. Ain't no justice come. He got off. He got evidence with the dispatcher telling him not to follow him. Don't do that. And he did it anyway and got off scot-free. Now, if I'm going to pick a people, because I know, like my sister was saying, that I need chaos. Because what I'm trying to do is delete. I want to create the chaos, which create the problem. I already have the solution that I want them to pick, and I'm controlling both sides. So what? I create a chaotic situation, make them start looking at this and saying, man, we need more of this or we need more of that, forever taking away their liberties and making you choose security. You see what I'm saying? Because after the 9/11 thing happened, we start saying, well, maybe we do need all these checks everywhere. Maybe we do need to be searched down the way we need to be searched down, because we don't need to let everybody just come in, because that can happen. Right. So if I'm going to pick a people to be the people that I can do stuff to that nobody really care about, who can them people be? Mm-hmm. People of color. Because I know if we make Asian people the people, you got Japan and China that'll come in and be like, y'all ain't going to treat them like this. If we make Muslim people the people, they'll be like, you got Muslims somewhere everywhere that'll be like, y'all ain't finna do them like this. That's wrong.
ISIS will be here.
ISIS will be here. If you make the European the people, they ain't gonna, it just ain't gonna happen. Mm-hmm. You definitely can't make the Jewish people the people that I can just come in and do everything to. So who the people that I know that it will be all right and be looked justified?
People who have been destroyed. People
who have been destroyed. So now I got these people. Let's start setting up situations now. Run-ins with the police. We'll give them the thug imagery, in a sense. Every time we kill one of them, all we'll do is the first thing we'll do. We won't look in the police past and see how many run-ins they done had racially profiled and how many run-ins that this police done killed people unjustly. We'll go into the person that got killed past and look at his criminal record to justify the killing. Why they had to look in Trayvon Martin past, Mike Brown past? to make us say, okay, well, yeah, they was the criminal. They got in trouble with the law, so the killing was justified. Look at all these cases. Now, they doing this to provoke. And you see, folks getting upset, folks getting mad, folks looking crazy. After something happened, you can't even go to work the right way no more. You see somebody, you just mad, ready to turn up something. Because something is provoking. And then notice what they start doing next. We'll wait on a verdict. We want to see a verdict. So now this the black side. We just trying to make them as mad as we can. Provoking. Now, they don't even think about, we don't think about it. You don't think about having rights no more when you get pulled over by the police. What happened back in slavery time that's still happening now? Back in slavery time, that's why it's important to study slavery. Back in slavery time, they would bring all the slaves out, beat, murder, kill one slave in front of everybody to instill fear in the rest of them so they can control the rest of them. Right. So by you seeing this on a mass scale, it'll make you do the things we desire you to do. Now, the killings of people of color by the police being produced all over the world on TV, what did they do to us? That made us be like, okay, when we get pulled over, we finna just comply. Forget any type of liberty, because it's steps that the police supposed to go through before they get to the point where excessive force has to be used. Right. That's a violation of your civil rights, and it's on the books. Right. From the police interaction and how the judicial system is supposed to operate. But I can never mind all that, because when martial law hit, you don't have no rights. So how can I get you what? Conditioned for martial law. I start bringing fear in your mind, and you'll forget that I got rights. So now when we get pulled over by the police, we trying to survive the moment. Hands on the wheel, whatever you need. Sir, you need my license? I want to tell you to reach in my pocket and get it, but sir, I finna just try to put my hand down here. You don't even think about it no more, because we're so fearful of what being killed. So any type of liberties or rights you're supposed to have as a citizen go out the door. And this is why some people get mad. And people be like, well, they resisting. Why they ain't just do what the police tell them? Because what? Their rights are being violated. Like, why you pulling me over? Say, why do I have to get out the car? Yeah. Why are you searching me? Right. You don't have any reasonable doubt. You have nothing. And then we'll look at it on TV and say, why was they resisting? What you mean? He took my elbow and shot it way up my back. My body gonna flinch, and they gonna say you resisting, and all of a sudden you got shot and you got killed. Now we all looking at, they shouldn't have resisted. We just need to comply, and you never think about rights. What? That's conditioning you. So what would be the next stage? Let's go from traffic and go to your house. Now you definitely supposed to have a warrant before you check somebody's house. But when they start kicking your door in now and have it on camera, and somebody get killed in their house, what we're gonna start saying? Why they ain't just open the door? Why they was just resisting? Why they ain't do nothing? And what is that setting us up for? Because in martial law, they can come in and bust your door open and take your children without your consent. So through fear, we are being set up for martial law. So what? They got to keep provoking. So now you start looking at the movies. All these slave movies starting to come in. One by one. 12 years a slave had me hot. Look at that now. It's trying to provoke something emotional out of you. And this is why we're starting to see the products of what they're doing, because they test everything before they do it. Mm-hmm. You see what happened in New Orleans, how that was set up? That during that time, ain't nobody had the right. They can kill who they want to kill, do what they want to do during that time. It was crazy. That was a setup. And notice, you got all these Walmarts and stuff that's closing down. Just buildings, they getting ready for something. Some places having 200 and some coffins just sitting there. All this stuff being set up. They getting prepared. Every now and then you'll ride down the street and see big military tanks that ain't, I don't want to say indigenous to America, but you just see them just start riding by. Big old tanks and all. What are they preparing for? Just like when they was building all these jails all around. We was looking at that. They knew that they was going to fill them up. So it's important to realize. So I'm provoking the black folks on this side. So how can I get the crazy Southern heritage people involved? All these years we've been here, ain't nobody been worried about snatching no statue down. When have they ever did something to make black folks feel better about slavery? Never. They ain't never even said I'm sorry. When you talk to even people now, I mean, it just get crazy, the people mentality. But if I want to get them crazy, I already got the blacks crazy and got them riled up and upset. Now, let's bring the white in. Let's just start all of a sudden saying we need to take these statues down. These statues been here for years. But now let's take them down because we know that's going to bring them out and make them angry. And they ain't think about what's being done by the elitists. They thinking about me and you down here on this level. So now what? We rowing against each other. It's getting crazy now. But all they need to do when you start looking at what's already on the books, research stuff like the King Afro Plan. Write that down. Because in the 60s and 50s, you had so many uprisings through, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, different ones like that, Sterling Carmichael, or even from the time of, what's that boy name that was from Jamaica? I just called his name out. But Garvey, Marcus Garvey. They put in the books that we can never let another black so-called Messiah rise up. So through King Alfred Plan, it's something set up. Alfred. Yeah. His plan is set up to round up about so many million Africans Americans and be able to put them in different concentration camps. It's already on the books. And Rex 84 got added to that to add the Latinos. Rex 84. That's when that law was also amended to add something to it. And Rex 84 included now the Latinos. So it has a list of all the black groups that's out there. And guess who's another group that's on the list? Hebrew Israelites. And what defines you as a terrorist as a Hebrew Israelite? You want to grow your own food. You want to homeschool. You teaching against America. And you want to be separate. When you start filling in those categories, they can take you in. And also try to demonize your children because it's already happening. Now, couples that been online just talking about how the judicial system is trying to do them based off those facts. So it's important to see that this whole thing is just trying to create a chaotic situation, like the sister was saying, to bring in martial law in order that no constitution will be barren, they can do what they want. And think about who's in the seat right now. If Trump had complete control, then do what he want to do. You see what I'm saying? It's a reason that he allowed a lot of his staff that he knew was racist and led racial groups and put them as advisors. So all I'm saying, look beyond the surface and see, okay, I always look, okay, what is this trying to provoke? Because notice, right before this statue thing, the movie Detroit came out. And the movie Detroit, that's another movie that gets you stirred up. So I tell people, man, don't be going down there to them rallies. They have people set up to start chaos. They have people set up in order to cause fights. So you never know, you might get caught up in some gunfire down there. Man, don't get caught up in all that because that's what they want you to do, making an emotional decision based off what they're trying to provoke out of you. Because the end goal is martial law. What we need to be doing is gathering together, speaking, and using our mind to see the things that we need to do according to prophecy and according to scripture. Not getting caught up in something that's just emotional. Does that make sense?
And remember, and during the Exodus, before, when the plagues and everything was set upon the people of the land, Mitzrayim, the people of Goshen, the Hebrew Israelites were protected.
Was protected. That's right.
We don't need to be getting involved in all of this.
That's right.
Madness that's going on out there.
That's right.
Stay within our communities.
Exactly.
Because there's safety in numbers.
That's right.
And just watch things happen and watch, because y'all said that he was going to do miraculous things.
That's right. That's right. And it has to start with this, because he had to happen. When you look at this type of hate, the type of hate that we experience over here is an unnatural hate. You see what I'm saying? It's like it don't make sense. It's crazy. So you know that y'all hand is in it. You see what I'm saying? Because it don't make sense to hate somebody for what they ain't never did nothing to you.
Right.
For you to have extreme, to take a person, burn them alive, hang them, castrate them, burn them alive, and then make that a cookout so everybody can come and see and you got little babies smiling at that. That's unnatural. We can't hardly take a dog and we beat his head in with a hammer. That's hard to watch. But that was a common thing that back then. That you see that type of hate is unnatural. And the Most High, he had to allow things to happen so what we won't get so attached to this nation when he say it's time to go. He ain't gonna be like exactly. He ain't gonna be like well you know we'll come back and get you. You can stay over there for a little.
Just enjoy.
When he says time to go, because what happened to Lot wife? She got turned into what, a pillar of salt, because she kept looking back when he brought judgment on that land. So it's important to spend that time with your families, stay in your families, and look for prophecy and know what's going on. All right, so we're gonna